I don't know if you've ever lived in a small American town, but if you have, then you know one thing is certain: nothing ever stays private. Not your business, not your failures, not even your laundry if you leave it hanging out too long. In a place like this, secrets spread faster than lightning across a summer sky. My story begins in such a town, a sleepy Midwestern place with more gossip than excitement, and it revolves around me, my wife Sarah, and, believe it or not, my donkey, Charlie. Now, before you jump to conclusions, let me explain. Charlie wasn't some ordinary donkey. He was family. I first met him at a livestock auction years back. He was skinny, his ribs showing, his coat ragged as if nobody had brushed him in years. Folks passed him by like he was worthless. But when I looked into his eyes, I saw something that caught me off guard. There was a heaviness there, a weariness I recognized. Maybe it was because I was going through my own rough season in life, but I couldn't just let him be ignored. So I raised my hand, bought him for next to nothing, and took him home. From that day forward, Charlie was with me in everything. He was stubborn, sure, like most donkeys, but he was steady. When I was plowing the garden, he was there. When I was hauling wood for the stove, he was there. And when the long nights stretched on, when Sarah and I weren't seeing eye to eye, Charlie was the one who seemed to listen. I didn't mean for it to happen. I didn't mean for him to become the one I confided in more than my own wife. But the truth is, Sarah and I had been drifting apart for years. She said I worked too much. I said she didn't understand the pressure I was under. Arguments turned into silences, silences into distance, and before long, it felt like we were living in two different worlds under the same roof. So I started spending more and more time out in the barn. I'd lean against Charlie, scratch behind his ears, and talk. I told him about my day, about my frustrations, about how I didn't feel seen anymore. And in the stillness of those nights, with the smell of hay and the creak of the wooden beams above, it felt like Charlie understood me in a way no one else did. He never interrupted. He never judged. He just stood there, breathing slow and steady, his big dark eyes fixed on me as though he knew every word mattered. It wasn't long before Sarah noticed. She'd ask why I was out in the barn so late, what I was doing out there for hours. I'd shrug and say I was checking on the animals, making sure everything was okay. She didn't buy it. One night, when I came in late smelling of hay and sweat, she confronted me. "Who is she?" she demanded. I blinked, confused. "Who's who? Don't play dumb with me, Daniel. I know you're seeing someone. You leave the dinner table, disappear for hours, and come back with that guilty look on your face. Who is she?" I almost laughed, though not out of disrespect. The idea that she thought I was cheating with another woman was ironic, considering the truth. But when I told her the truth, she didn't believe me. "I'm talking to Charlie," I said simply. Her eyebrows shot up. "Charlie? The donkey?" "Yeah," I said, nodding. I don't know. It's easier sometimes. He listens." She stared at me for a long time, her expression unreadable. Then she shook her head. "Do you even hear yourself? You're choosing a donkey over your wife." That was the beginning of the end. Sarah didn't let it go. She told her sister, who told her neighbor, who told the folks at church, and before long the whole town was buzzing with rumors. By the time the story had spun its way through enough mouths, it had changed into something unrecognizable. Suddenly, I wasn't just a man spending too much time with his donkey, I was a man who had betrayed his wife with one. Now, in a town like ours, once a story like that catches fire, you can't put it out. People would cross the street when they saw me coming. The guys at the hardware store would whisper and snicker as I walked past. I even overheard kids chanting some ridiculous rhyme about Daniel and his donkey. It was humiliating, infuriating, and worst of all, it wasn't even the truth. not the way they meant it. But the thing is, rumors have a funny way of holding a bit of truth at their core. And in my case, there was truth. I hadn't cheated in the way people thought, but I had been unfaithful. I had poured my heart into a creature instead of into my marriage. I had chosen comfort in a barn over the hard work of repairing what was broken between Sarah and me. And in a way, that was its own form of betrayal. The more the rumor spread, the further apart Sarah and I grew. She looked at me with a mix of disgust and sorrow, as if she didn't know the man she had married anymore. And maybe she didn't. Maybe I didn't know myself either. Still, every night I found myself back in the barn, talking to Charlie like he was the only one left who understood me. It wasn't fair to Sarah, and deep down, I knew it. But at the same time, I couldn't stop. That's when I realized this story, the one people were twisting and mocking, wasn't really about a donkey at all. It was about loneliness. About the way people reach for something, anything, when the person they're supposed to lean on feels out of reach. For me, that something was Charlie. And that's how the legend of Daniel and his donkey was born. A legend that still, to this day, follows me through town. Please like and subscribe my channel for more romantic videos.